Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your favorite girl SharonAde and Day, and I know, it looks so yummy. Oh my god. Anyway, guys, welcome back to another episode of Sharon Speaks. Today, I have I have someone very special on the couch here with me. It's Ireland's fave, Mr. Lee himself. Smiley, introduce yourself.
My name is Smiley, and I'm excited to be on the podcast today.
I'm so excited to have you.
Yeah,
Do you know when I
too.
sent you that text? I was like, but Smiley say yes, because I know you were.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, will he say yes? But then you're like, yeah, cool.
Yeah, we've not spoken because I was trying to call you 2 weeks ago, so I
Yeah.
was just like, might as well have this conversation on camera.
On camera. Okay, I'm excited. Okay, do you know what we do? Yeah, before we get into like our conversation, dilemma. So you're gonna help someone solve their dilemma.
Okay.
Right, cool. I have a dilemma, and I'd love to get your view on it. I was raised a Christian and a devoted Christian until 18. I began to follow the ways of the world and later entered a relationship which lasted 4 years. In those years of being together, you can say we were a worldly relationship as God was there. No one as sorry, English. You can say that we were in a worldly relationship as God was nowhere to be found. However, I started to rebuild my relationship with God and had a strong urgency to break up with my boyfriend at the time. I broke up with him in January and told him the season of this relationship has ended and no longer serves a purpose. Wow, that's strong words. He said I sound like every Christian who thinks of high of themselves. We had a conversation a week later and things were settled, and he asked me why I didn't ask him on the journey. I told him I didn't think he was ready and what I was expecting from him would have been too much. His friends thinks it's all lies and there's a new man in the picture. Was I wrong, or what do you think?
I think she was just spot on. Well, what do you think?
Yeah, she was. No, she definitely was.
Explain.
Okay. I think she was spot on because like sometimes these it's not more than often not, these journeys are actually very personal. Like, you know what I mean? It takes, I'm not saying you can't do it together. It just takes a level of commitment from both parties to be able to do it together. It's not I'm going and I'm dragging you along, because I don't even have myself right now. So it needs to be a balanced equation of both of us equally be like, okay, do you know what? We started this relationship on the note that we don't want to carry it on. So let's both come together and both equally work. But if it's one person wanting to work and the other person not, then I think she was right in that situation.
I even think both of them wanted to come together and make it work. I still think, like...
Oh, do you think so?
Yeah, I think work on a relationship with God by yourself, you know. I personally, I think if it's... You're basically saying, hey, God, I want to get to know you, but this is the only condition I'm going to get to know you with.
No, I don't think that's necessarily it, though. Like,
I think it is.
If they're both trying to get their relationship together, I don't think this is the only condition it's in. It's just we're both on that journey.
You could do that separately.
But at the end of the day, I feel like even if you are married, let's say this was like a marriage now or something like that, your relationship with God is a constant thing. So you can't always have that privilege of being like, okay, I'm just going to do it by myself. I feel like there's going to be times in your journey where it's going to be two people or even more than, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but like you saying yes to Jesus has nothing to do with any other person other than yourself. So you developing that relationship with Jesus has nothing to do with any... It'll be nice to have a community of people you can, you know...
Yeah.
It'll be nice to have your boyfriend. It'll be nice, all that. It'll be nice. But if you're really trying to develop your relationship with Jesus, it's a personal walk. And you shouldn't be... Your walk shouldn't be dependent on someone else. It shouldn't be like, it'll be like... I don't know if you're catching me.
No, I'm getting what you mean. Like I'm getting what you're saying, right? But I think what I'm saying is that it's not necessarily dependent on. Like you're saying, like this is what it's dependent on, or God, this is the factor I'm bringing into this. It's just, no, I am on my own journey. It just so happens this person wants to be on their journey together. It's like two friends. I might decide, okay, today I want to give my life to Christ, and then tomorrow my friends decide they want to give their life to Christ. I'm not saying, God, me coming to Christ has to do with my friend. But, oh, hey, we're doing this together. We're going, do you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like, it's not like a, God, I'm coming with him. It has to be with him. No. It's God, I'm coming. Just so happens he's coming too. Let your will be done.
Relationship is a bit different though than friends.
I hear, yeah.
Because you're in a 4-year relationship, and more time, you know, with marriage, if we're doing it the godly way, it's it's God ordained as well. Like your partner is your life partner chosen by God. You get what I'm saying? So it's one of them where it's just like, I think with friendship it's a bit different. I think in a relationship it's totally different.
I've actually seen people, like there's this couple that I actually watch, really, really good. They were both like in a very worldly relationship, and they both found Christ, and now they're married. They're actually pastor in a church now. So that's why I'm saying, like, you can't exactly use like that one picture to like paint the whole scenario, because it has actually worked out for some people before. Do you get what I mean?
Anomalies though.
What?
Anomalies though.
How many is that?
Anomalies, outliers.
Yeah,
They're
those
like
are anomalies. But I think you
10.
need to know if you are the anomaly, even though we all like to think that we are the anomaly, like more than likely.
What are you doing in your relationship as you're getting closer to God? Like what's you're still on baby milk. So to be getting closer to God with your partner and spending time with them, you know, is it wise?
It's okay. It's not wisdom, but like maybe we're going to change. I can't believe I'm the one on this fence fighting this side of the battle.
I'm not. You don't need to fight
do you know
it.
why? Do you know why? Because I'm usually on your side. That's why I said I can't believe I'm the one on this side of the fence. But what I'm saying is that, okay, let's say theoretically, now we're not going to be hanging out. Maybe in the way that we used to be. Maybe if we were doing hotel visits every second week, now we may not be doing hotel visits every second week no more. Do you know what I mean? Things will just change. Boundaries will be put into place.
Do you think relationships, do you think it's God ordained? Do you think God has a specific person for your life?
I think.
Or do you think you can bend it? And
No,
God
I
will
don't think
kind
you can. Wait, you can bend it and then what?
Like God will kind of, okay, do you know what? This is your plan. I will adjust my will according to what you have presented to me.
I don't think you can manipulate the will of God. Do you get what I mean? Like you're either in the will of God. Like I think there's the perfect will of God for your life, which is maybe the person that God actually puts up. But then there's the permissive will of God. So actually, I think everything depends on which one you take. You can either take the perfect will of God, which is, do you know what, God, I'm going to put everything totally into your hands. Cool. And God's will still be done.
Yeah.
But then there's also the permissive one that God has said, no, but it's permissive. Do you get me? But you always want to be on the perfect side of it.
How do you know if the person you're with is a permissive partner, like according to God's will? How do you know that?
I don't know, Smiley. How do you know?
No, I'm asking. How do you know?
I don't know.
You don't.
But I think prayer. What do you think?
Okay,
prayer,
so do you need the other person? Do you need to be in a relationship with the other person to find that out? I'm asking. So what I'm saying is, like, the whole journey of, you see, with your friends, I hear it like it's. But with a relationship, I think if you're trying to, this is one of the reasons why I didn't even get into a relationship when I was younger, because I was just like, I know I was on crud. I know I was going to be on crud. So I know that I wasn't picking based on what God would have, I would have only picked based on what I physically liked.
Based on the assets.
Yes. And then, exactly, you know, so then in 4 years' time, I'm now stuck in this position where I'm just like, God, yeah, I want to get closer to you, but I'm so attached to because I was driving my life. I was the one that was determining this is in my life. This is, I wasn't being led by God.
Yeah.
So then I'm now, based on those decisions, yes, God can turn it around, of course, but I'm kind of like bringing her to God in the sense where it's just like, yo, God, can you make this work?
Yeah.
Rather than just starting on a clean slate and just saying, God, I want to get to know you.
Yeah,
I want to develop that relationship
and
with
God
you.
can bring them back.
Exactly.
Period.
Exactly.
Somebody said no. No, but God, like, yeah, I hear what you mean. So you're kind of like surrendering it. But I think in her instance, she wasn't being like, okay, God, you know, this is my boyfriend.
I think she handled it perfectly.
Yeah, she handled it well.
Yeah.
And his friends were like, oh, they think there's someone else in the picture. Do you think boys do that as well, though? Sometimes boys be like, oh, I need to focus on my life, but meanwhile they just want to go do their own rubbish.
Do you know what? I think boys can be worse than girls when it comes to like feeding.
Thank you.
They can be. They can be. I can't lie to you.
Yeah.
In terms of the accountability, girls can be very bad though.
Oh no, they can.
Yeah, they could be very, very bad. But some guys could, like, they really, really just stroke the ego, where it's just like, bro, do you know what? I think, you know, just to make the guy feel a bit better, you know, and that's what it sounds like there, where it's just like, they're not trying to make the guy think logically. They're just trying to, you know, do you know what? This is the narrative. Yeah, let's help
play
this.
with it.
Yeah,
no, she doesn't actually want to be better. It's just because she wants another man.
Exactly.
Have you been those types of friends before?
Have I had those where they stroke my ego?
Yeah, or are you a stroking ego friend? Smile.
Do I stroke guys'
Yeah.
egos? I think you need to know. You need to. There's wisdom. I think there's certain people where it's just like, you know what, I don't have the head for you today, so I'm just gonna play along. There's one guy that comes to mind where it's just like, he's a promoter. Like, bro, I'm the hottest shit in Dublin.
Hallelujah.
You know, I'm like, bro, if I put on an event on this, and I'm like, tell them again, Jerry. Like me,
Yeah.
I'll just. I don't necessarily agree. I tell them, because if I try and like argue, it's just like an argument. I don't want arguments.
Yeah.
It's like a guard stopping you.
Yeah.
I hear of people saying, "Oh, did you stop me because I'm black and that?" Bro,
No.
listen. If I get stopped, I'm giving them my license. I'm
Yeah,
playing
and
the
acting
game.
accordingly.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
playing the game.
yeah.
How's your day? Because literally, I want a 2-minute conversation being a 2-minute conversation. I don't want it being
Not
a 10-minute
behind
conversation. So I
the
think
cell, yeah.
wisdom needs to come into play. If
Yeah.
you know that someone is very up their own head and up their own ass, yeah, you think so? I agree, bro. And you
Yeah.
leave them.
There's
But
some
if
people that
someone
come
is
to
coming
mind
with
as well, yeah.
a bit of humility, do you get what I'm saying? In the sense where it's just like, they believe this, but they can be corrected, or they
Yeah.
can take criticism, then I'll be like, you know what? I don't necessarily agree with that. Let's look at the facts. Do you get what I'm saying? But if someone is just, I just leave that. I'll be like, I'll stroke that ego, 100%. We'll suck on.
You suck it.
I'm joking.
That's not what I meant. Oh my God. That's not what I meant. But okay, you know what? Talking about relationships, you said you have been in a relationship. You weren't in a relationship. Why? Let's talk about that.
Oh gosh.
Because the streets probably want to know, like I said, Ireland's eligible bachelor, most eligible bachelor.
You see, oh God. Okay. The reason there's like 2 or 3.
Give us all.
Okay.
Yeah, we're in it
Because
today.
you said, Smiley, come ready to talk.
Come
with
ready
like
to
4
talk.
Ks.
Because you know
So-
what? I was literally thinking today, you're one of those people that like, if I hop on a phone call with you, it's not a passive phone call. I have to sit down and listen, or maybe like be out on a walk or something. But it actually has to be like, I'm talking to Smiley today. So yeah, come ready to talk.
Okay.
Yeah.
The reason, I'll say the first reason was mainly to do with, I had commitment issues. Like, you know, I'm a perfectionist. So I just saw myself getting bored very easily back then, you know. So you have a question?
I did, because I just feel like that's such a blanket statement to be like, oh, I have commitment issues. Like, if you ask everybody under the sun today, they have commitment issues. Like, it all stems from somewhere. Do you know that sort of thing? Like, or do you like, where do you think like your commitment issues?
I think it's a few things.
Tell
I don't want
us.
do you? I don't want to go that
Go
deep.
deeper.
I don't want to go that deep. But it's more so to do with, you know, what I saw growing up, what I saw from my mom, what I saw I saw my mom struggle. So more time. Dave, does people know about our dad?
Yeah, from
Do they know that he did something? Okay. So my dad stepped out of the relationship. So I just never wanted to be that father, like, you know, because it could have potentially ruined our whole family.
Yeah.
So I just never wanted to, you know, be with someone and, you know, have these tendencies where I want to cheat and that. So I'd rather not get into a relationship in the first place than to say that, yo, I love you, but I'm still cheating. And do you get what I'm saying? So I kind of just stayed well clear of relationships because I just didn't want to cheat. I want to be able to say I've never cheated in my
Hallelujah.
life.
Oh,
And to be fair, I can say that. Even though the track record kind of suggests
I was gonna say,
is
will
that
the
even
streets
possible?
approve of that?
The streets have to approve because I've never been in a relationship.
Oh wow.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Wait.
I've never been in a
Has
relationship.
anybody ever thought they were in a relationship with you?
No. They would have thought that we were exclusive. Yeah, but they won't say, oh, I was in a relationship with Smiley. They'll always say, oh, it was so cloudy, it was so confusing.
Yeah.
They won't say I was in a relationship with Smiley.
Yeah, because even like going back to what you said, even about like what you see growing up, I feel like it does really play a fundamental part in like how you view relationships. And I think even for myself, like I'm only beginning to see it now, like how like home as maybe like, or even like being on the other end of that, like as the girl, like with like growing up with my mom. Do you know what I mean? Now I see like my behavior even towards men, and not even in a bad way. I'm just very careful how I pick or who I pick, because I'm like, you do this can lead to this can lead to this. Whereas maybe if I wasn't, it's not a bad thing always, but it can also be a bad thing because now you're nitpicking or now you're being overly critical and not giving that room for humans to hume. Do you know that sort of thing? So I feel like when you said that, I really related with that particular part because like I've seen the negative sides of that as well over me.
And what behaviors do you look out for when it comes to?
No, we're not going to flip the tables.
You're not finished. We are.
You're not finished telling us.
I used the what. I didn't say why. I said what.
Okay, what behaviors do I look out for now?
Yeah, in men.
In a good way or in a bad way?
In a bad way.
Ooh, I look at, obviously, if you are, sorry, this is actually really shy. I need to stop doing this. Ooh, someone that doesn't stick to their word, like their word has no value. Yeah, you're not someone of integrity. I just don't think I could do that. If you don't have a provider mindset, it's not something, because again, like seeing you having to like, not beg, but like you won't do this for your kids, you won't do this. Like I don't want someone that I'm going to tell to be a man or be a provider. That should already be ingrained in you. Do you know what I mean?
I have a question because I've been speaking to a lot of girls recently about like this whole topic, and a lot of them, like growing up, it wasn't about integrity. But now it seems like integrity is like the most important thing.
Yeah, because we're growing up.
Why is that?
Because we're growing up.
What led you to that conclusion?
I think maybe I'm just going to speak for myself, but like when you're growing up, and another thing, I grew up with need of hyper success. Like I'm very like focused. So even like the male aspect wasn't really a thing for me until maybe the last year too. Do you know what I mean? So it wasn't a thing for me. So I didn't even see that side. So obviously now that I'm seeing it, I'm like, okay, no, he actually has to be like, he has to have a man of integrity. But I think it's just because I grew up. And now I'm actually thinking like, okay, I'm not just marrying a husband. I'm marrying the father of my kids. I want my kids to thank me for the dad that they have. Do you know what I mean? I want them to be proud of the dad that they have. So obviously now I'm looking at maybe the successful relationships around me. What does this man and this man and this man, when they do this, when they act like this, when they act like this. And then even just obviously social media, even though sometimes it has its negatives, but even social media saying that, okay, this girl said that my boyfriend's going to come and pick me up at 7:00 and he was there at 6:59, sort of thing. Not that, he said 7:00, 8:30, he'll be here. No. Little things like that. It actually plays a lot into like the kind of character you are. The kind of person that you are. So I think for me, I just grew up, or maybe I just started having like the mindset of marriage. I've always knew I was going to get married, but it wasn't like my focus. Because again, growing up in that receiving end was, do have your own so that no man can get it. So it was always like, do you. Now I didn't really think about them, and now I am. Do you get what I mean? So I think for me, that's the
like
answer.
I was thinking the other day, I want to have a conversation with my mom about, do you think you chose wrongly? Like, can we have that conversation? Like, what were you looking for back then? Like, no, I was thinking about having that conversation because I don't want my little sister just, growing up just thinking, this. Take some accountability as well. I'm not saying my mom did anything wrong, but I want to see.
That's a deep conversation.
I want to see, do you think, from your perspective, do you think you were looking for the wrong things? Yeah. Or do you think,
but do you know what it is?
Was my dad ever actually very, very spiritual? Because I know my mom like gave her life to Christ very young, like probably in her mid-20s, before she got married, I believe. So like that type of conversation.
But do you know what it is as well, though? I also think the myriad of knowledge that we have now, or the openness that we have, that we speak about the thing, I don't think they had that
with their parents.
Yeah. Or even just as a society. Do you get what I mean? I don't think they had that. So I feel like we're probably in a more privileged place than them. Obviously, like the ones that's still married, right? Still, for the most part, there. But also, I feel like people can be very manipulative. Do you not think so?
Men,
I feel like, especially men, especially if they, and I think also with people, you can tell who's kind of like going to do well for themselves. And some men, if they don't have the mindset of, okay, I'm also going to get it, it's easy to latch onto a woman and be like, oh, do you get what I mean? So I think that's where like, maybe this is also just me giving grace or just like making up excuses for myself. I mean, But back to your thing.
Back to my thing.
Yeah.
What's my thing?
You were telling us why you had commitment issues. Yeah.
Oh gosh.
You thought we were gonna leave it.
Yeah. So no, it was based on me growing up, what I saw. Also, I didn't ever want money being a burden like in the relationship. I never wanted my girl to ask me for money, and then I'm just like, I can't do that. Like,
Why?
Because I saw stuff growing up. I saw my mom having to practically beg my dad for money. And I just made a decision early on in life where I was just like, you know what? I want to be like super, super gone before I even enter a relationship. Because I'll be real, it does, when a woman asks me for money and I can't and I can't provide it, I won't use a strong word like traumatic, but it can be traumatic for me. Where it's just like, I can't,
God.
No, honest to God. So I'd rather not even put myself in that position in the first place where, I'm still hustling and like girls be saying, oh, Smiley, why aren't you not in a relationship? Because I don't want no girl to be building with me. I don't want that. I don't want her to go through the struggle with me, honestly. And girls will say, oh, no, but I don't want it for you. I don't want it for you.
He said what's better for yourself.
Yeah, like literally, why would I build a house with you when I could build a house myself?
Put me
and then
inside.
you just soft life.
Hallelujah.
Open the door.
Holy shit. That's like, when
the
you said it's
carpet in.
traumatic that somebody asks for money and you can't give it to them. May my man not be traumatized, but God, I see what you're doing.
Yeah. No, but it was a real thing for me growing up where I was just like, I made that decision. Now, I made that decision, and it's not like I made that decision and I said, yeah, I'm going to be very, very like, I lived life as well. So it was a bit of both,
But then also, I feel like that sounds really good in theory as well, but there's also downsides to like thinking like that. Do you think
explain?
Thinking like, what, I'm not going to build with a woman. Perfect. But like, do you think also you've also like missed out on some people or a potential person? The one that got away. Was there one that got away with you?
I think if you're prayed up, I don't think you'll feel like that.
No, I don't think that's true. I think that's actually a blanket statement us Christians like to also throw around, that like what's for you will not pass you by, and hallelujah, what's for you will not pass you by. But also your inability to maybe discern it at the point will make what's for you pass you by. Do you know that sort of thing?
Mm-hmm. I hear that. If you're prayed up and you're saying, God, let your will be done, and you're actually practicing hearing the voice of God, I think like God will tell, like for me in anyways, let me put from my perspective, there are times where, for example, I have an accountability group chat. There was one time that, two of the guys left because they weren't getting enough points, and it was just down to me and my brother, and for like 2 months we weren't checking in with each other because we live with each other. And then something was telling me, get your other 2 friends in the group chat, and they don't need to. And it was a nagging feeling. And I know when it's God like saying it. And then something happened the next week where I was so close to like losing my celibacy, basically.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then it clicked in my head. I was just like, the reason why my blood has been hot so much recently is because I don't have that system. No, not now. My blood was so hot recently in that time period was because I didn't have that system in place. And that system keeps me from like, we have to send in our screen time limits. So you can't be, if you send in screen time limit for 2 hours the day before, that whole day, even though you want to watch video, you can't watch a video on your phone. Even though you want to scroll Instagram, you can't, because you're cautious of, so I didn't have that system. So I know God was kind of letting me know prior to it happening, God was telling me, yo, put your system back in place. Someone also had a dream. She came up to me. She said, yo, I had a dream that you did this and that. Like, I truly believe if you're in touch with God, that person, the name, for me in anyways, the name will ring loud in my head, and it will be impossible to ignore the signs.
Yeah. It reminds me, you said something about systems, reminds me of this thing I said, that you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the levels of your systems. Like whatever systems you have in place is what's going to determine. But even when I was saying about the thing I was saying previously, not now. Oh, you can't miss it now. You have Jesus. I'm saying before, did you have one that got away because of like maybe the mindset that you had of like
100% not.
100%.
I wouldn't have been able to keep her.
Okay.
I didn't have the emotional maturity to, I didn't know. I wouldn't have known what she needed. I would have still had all this, like. I had to take a year out to fully reprogram my brain, and I'm still doing that.
Okay.
So if that person that got away, if I had her there, I would treat her like, I would treat her badly. Yeah. I read a few books on emotional intelligence, I would have been all about me, me, me. Do you get what I'm saying? I wouldn't have looked at what does she need. I wouldn't have done stuff the godly way, which is, they say man is the head of the home and stuff like that, but they don't also include that Jesus loved us so much that he sacrificed himself.
Yeah.
As a man, are you willing to sacrifice yourself? Like go out to war for your wife. Are you willing? That type of love. Do you get what I'm saying? I don't understand these little things, and I think a girl that had all the qualities that I needed, I don't think she would have settled for what the version I was previously. I don't think I would have pushed her away 100%.
What qualities are you looking for?
Gosh.
And we're still going to go back to your thing as well. I like this.
God, what qualities? Okay, I need to be careful because my mom warned me about this. Like, don't say too much in terms of what you're looking for, because girls will kind of
mold
themselves. And it happened a few times before, you know. No, since I've been on this journey, you know, there's been a few girls that...
Did they ever come and say they had a dream, or they feel like they're your wife?
No, they're not that blunt yet.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, but like, girls will tell me stuff that I want to hear. Like, some girls will tell me stuff, and I'm smiling. I shouldn't be saying this because, but I'll shut them down. But nah, like, girls will be like, nah, I just love the way you're just so focused. And I'm just like, almost.
He's putting his chest out.
You like the way, because when I was growing up, I was very.
I just love the type of man you are.
I beg you, stop that. I can't smack you, so I'm smacking the mic. Stop that. Stop that. I'm fasting today. Stop that. No. Like, growing up, girls always used to complain about how, like, driven I was. Like, all my days, you don't take a day off. You do, like, what do you mean you can't reply to me?
Driven.
Yeah. Stop that, Sharon.
Oh,
Stop
no,
that. Don't agree with me. For the rest of this podcast, don't agree with me now. Okay.
So, yes, sir. I wouldn't agree with you.
Okay, no problem. Anyways, girls used to kind of, like, give out to me whenever I was talking to someone, like, not even seriously, but, like, semi-seriously. They would complain about, like, how focused I was and obsessive I was. So, like, when I hear a girl saying, like, you're so focused, you're so driven, it's just like, oh, I'm getting appreciated now, you know, for the thing that people used to, you know, that's a bad thing almost. Do you get what I'm saying? So, a few girls, you know, will say the right things to me.
They'll shape-shift.
Yeah.
But for the ones that don't want to shape-shift and they're already, like, the kind of girl you're looking for.
I think, do you know what? For the, I need, what do I want to say? David, manager.
Tell us.
What should I say, David? For this question, what's the political answer?
There's no political.
Yeah, I want a nice girl.
Because David likes to ask me and he doesn't do political.
Okay. Really and truly, I want a God-fearing woman. I'm coming to terms with the fact that I don't want. Let me rewind. I want a God-fearing woman.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if that's the basis of our relationship, I think we'll be fine. Do you get what I'm saying? She'll be able to hold me accountable. I'll be able to hold her accountable. Now, in terms of qualities, I'd like a girl that is independent.
Yeah.
Like, there's no problem with being independent, because God forbid, if something happened to you and you were injured, you don't want your girl being like, you're saying, yo, babes, can you handle that call for me today?
Yeah,
I'm sick.
Yeah.
And she's like, how do you open this? How do you do the laptop?
Yeah.
How do you, like, I don't want a girl that's, like, incompetent. I want a girl that's just like, yo, I gave her the choice to just pack all that stuff away.
Yeah.
But she's able to. She's like Ruth in the Bible, where, like, her family, she has some family issues.
Not the biblical references.
Sorry. Sprinkling in for the girls, for the Christian girls.
Because
I have a lot of work to do, because when they see and think of Smiley, they think of old Smiley.
Yeah.
Smiley 1.0. This is Smiley 2.0.
But shut up.
Thank you.
I'm shy.
So Ruth in the Bible was like, based on her conditions, she could hold it down. Do you get what I'm saying? And that's how Boaz even spotted her. So I'd want a woman that, you know, yes, she's submissive. Yes, she's a helpmate. And if she wants to work, she can work. If she doesn't want to work, she has a choice. But I'd want a woman that's competent enough where it's just like, if I was, like, you know, sick for a sustained period of time, she can, God forbid, she's grand. You know, she could like wear the two hats. Do you get what I'm saying? But I'd prefer my woman just, you know, ideally, whatever her passion is, doing that for like whatever amount of hours she wants to do per week, and she doesn't need to get paid. I'm taking care of everything. If she wants to do that, she could do it. If she doesn't want to do it, she doesn't have to do it. My main priority is that you're a good wife to me first, and you're a good mother to my children. That's it.
So just independence.
Yes, independence without, you know, that masculine, I can do it for myself. I can, like, you know, rubbing it. No. Because just independence where, like, yo, I know I can do these things for myself, but it's not like you're throwing it in my face. Like, what do you think you're doing for me?
Realistically speaking, we need men, especially like disciplined, focused men like you. Like, why would we want to be hyper independent when we have good men that are willing to go to war for us?
I won't lie, there's a scarcity of good men for the Christian community, for the Christian girls.
Scarcity.
It's very scarce for you girls. It's peak for you girls. There's so many good women. For every good man, there's about 9 good women
lining up, begging.
Yeah.
Do you know, especially like you said, especially in the Christian community, it's a scarcity.
And even that good Christian man, he may not even be a leader.
I don't think, is it a necessity? Oh, like, wait, what do you mean?
Lead, like head of the home, leader.
Can I say something? This is the conversation we're having today. Because some of them, I'm so happy you can put holy hands together and stuff. But yes, being a Christian is so important. Like, it's actually, like you said, it's a really good foundation, it's the basis. But I think sometimes they leave it there. You don't know how to lead.
Yeah.
Yes, God is Jireh, but you're not making moves to make money.
Yeah.
Like, no. Because I just feel like that's what we see right now in like, especially in the Christian community. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, yeah, I pray and I'm a Christian. Okay.
What now?
What now?
Yeah.
How are you leading me? I'm meant to submit to authority that doesn't know where he's going, that doesn't have a sense of direction. How does that happen?
Yeah.
You want me to be submissive?
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I was talking to a girl over the weekend at the event that me and David went to, and she was telling me that she's talking to some guy, and I was just like, okay, so what's his plan for his life? What plan does he have for his life? What's his purpose? He goes, I don't know, like he wants to buy a house over the next few years. I go, is that it? And she goes, yeah. Like I don't really go into that. I said, what do you mean you don't really go into all of that? Sorry.
Okay.
You don't really go into all of that. And I think some girls need to take some accountability as well. They're not asking the hard questions right away. They need to ask these, especially around the 23, 24, like stop the games. Ask the hard questions, because these guys don't know when their backs are against the wall. That's when you see who actually got it and who doesn't got it.
In a few years, that's when you see who got it and who was chatting. Actually, I think I have it, but I remember we had a conversation in December. Do you remember the conversation that we had? It was so long, but you were telling me like,
not in a disrespectful way. Sorry,
you were telling me like,
refresh my memory. Sorry.
Smiley said, Sharon, you're old and you're on this street. You better go and find a husband. But then you gave me. I didn't say that. But not like that. I said basically. Basically, that's what you said, and you gave me like. You were like, are you asking the right questions? And you gave me, I think I wrote it down. It should be here. If not, it's in my diary. Wow. I wrote it down somewhere. Okay. Give the girls some of the questions they should be asking these men. Because Smiley really was just like, you're on the streets. What's going on? Like, could you get what I mean?
I think questions, I think for girls, they should be asking guys about their past and try to identify patterns from the guy's past. Because generally speaking, yes, you could say my past is my past, but really and truly, okay, I'll come back to that.
I have some.
Okay, go.
I have some, but this is not all of it, right? This was on the 17th of December, 2023, right? So you were saying that, like, you need to ask things like COVID, how did it change you, different things, your relationship with your siblings, how do you do conflict management, do you, like, leave, like, do you know what I mean, to refresh your head, like, do you know what I mean, like...
You're making me sound way smarter than I actually
No, but you really did, and then you also asked me, you gave me a criteria for my friends as well, actually.
Slow it down so they can hear it.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. You said that, like, in order for me to call someone a friend, they have to be able to help me in 3 out of these 4 criteria. Do you remember what it was?
No, at least 2 out of the 3.
2 out of the 3.
And there's one. There's one that's just like if you're good with this one, you're good. But I think can you name it? It's like God.
Yeah, faith.
Yeah. Business.
Finances. Yeah.
And then is it family and just no helping you to be a better person?
Purpose. Yeah, you said faith, finds purpose.
Okay, purpose.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
the relationships. No, you also said relationships. You were like
Relationships.
the relationships that they hold in their life, like is important.
Yes.
Yes.
So, for example, like
family and
like
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
like so. There's an auntie in church. She may not have a clue about business, but she is the auntie that everybody just loves.
Yeah.
If you're in my life and you're that type of person, I can keep you in my life because interpersonal skills. You have interpersonal skills. You know how to keep relationships. It's not like you're getting new friends every single year. You know, there are girls like that. There are guys like that. New friendship group every year, every 2 years. So if you can help me in my relationships, like how to maintain relationships, if you can help me get closer to God, or if you can help me in the area of business, 2 out of the 3, you're good.
All
But if they don't tick any of those boxes, you shouldn't be friends with them.
For the girls, you said questions. What questions should they be asking?
Yeah, COVID. That's a great question. Like, how did COVID impact you? So what you're trying to identify is, when things don't go your way, as a man, how do you respond?
Yeah.
Did they take 7 months off to just like, that kind of tells you if they're passive or if they're proactive. How do they handle their the conflict within their household, like their little brother and sister are fighting? Do they try and sit both of them down and talk to them? Because David does that. David does, like, he will sit my little brother, he will sit my little sister down, he will sit my little sister down, talk to her, and that's showing what type of father he's going to be. He's not going to just let your mom will deal with it. He's going to be like, do you know what? I see this problem, and I know I have to go to the studio. I know I have to do this, but no, that can wait. I'm going to sit down with you for an hour and a half, and I'm going to make sure you understand where you're going wrong, do you know what I mean? So I think those little things, it'll spin guys. Guys will be like, wait, what?
Yeah.
And then if a guy is just like, why are you asking those questions? You already know, leave him.
Period.
Yeah.
Period.
Leave him.
Yeah. No, I didn't forget. We're going back to...
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. We're going back.
Where?
You stopped at money. You didn't want the money.
Yeah, I don't want money. Oh, gosh. I don't want money. Every time you ask this question, I have to sit up. Sorry.
I like it.
I don't want money to be an issue in my relationship. And then I think, that was the main thing. It was just upbringing. I was scared of that I would cheat. I was scared. And
Are you still scared?
No.
Good.
I think I have I think your systems will determine these things. And then more so now, I actually want to keep pretty girls at a distance because I'm actually looking for what's in your brain. So if you talk to me and you're saying rubbish, you will be a 9.5, but you'll go straight down to a 6 after talking. So do you know what? Rather than me seeing an actual 9 physically for a 6, I'd rather just don't talk to me. Let me just keep seeing you as a 9 from a distance.
All right.
And we don't talk at all.
I hear that because there's some men as well, beautiful men.
You hear them speak?
Open the mouth. Gosh. That's
Nothing,
all they had.
no substance.
That's all they had.
Exactly.
The beauty.
Yeah.
I mean, no, so I completely understand that. What did I just say? I went blank after Dongo's thing.
Dongo. Do you think Dongo is one of those men?
Oh, what?
Has substance, or does he have? What does he have?
No, don't do this on my phone.
Because you said Dongo, so
no,
when
you did, I lost my chain of thought there. What was I saying?
She didn't answer the question, by the way.
Sorry, I was talking about what? Business of money. I was gonna say something. Anyway. This new change, what brought it about? Because obviously the streets are like, oh, now he's giving us biblical references. But this is not the Lee we once knew.
Yeah, of course.
It's not. What brought it about?
It was... So towards the end of 2022, I started making a bit more money. And then my mom started noticing it. And then she was just like, you know what? The reason why God blesses a man is for him to be a blessing to others.
Yeah.
So she said, you need to find out what God wants you to be a blessing to others from, or whatever way you phrase that. And then I just started thinking, I just thought of my childhood. I was just like, oh yeah, mothers that don't have their husbands. Oh yeah, I'll just give to them. And then I deeped it. I was just like, that's a cop-out. That's just such an easy answer. Where it's like, wait, how are you actually impacting, their lives? How are you making it easier for their lives? I think the biggest struggle for those single parents is raising the kids. But it's not the fact that they need money. They actually need that strong father figure in
Yeah.
their life to show these men, you know, crime rates will go down. The amount of rapes will go if there was strong men in these households.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? So,
But if you say that to the men, they don't want to hear it. They don't actually want to hear it. That, like, I don't want to say the root of all the problems, but a majority of the problems can be solved if men
100%.
actually took their positions as
100%.
men,
I agree.
first in the homes, then in society.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. So I did a bit more digging on that, and then so that got me thinking about purpose.
Wow.
And then I was just thinking about like how I was making my money in terms of just selling and buying phones, and I was just like, this is just like there's more to me, you know, like it just, you know, I wasn't happy with just, you know, making so much money from just like, yeah, you sell phones. Do you get what I'm saying? So I was just like, okay. Then my mom said she had a dream. I think she went to Nigeria. She was praying. She goes, God is going to give you an idea. And you're going to make a lot of money, but it's not from any of the things that you're doing right now. And back then I was doing like 4 or 5 things. I had the studio. I had, you know, office downstairs that I'm renting out. I had different things that I was doing. So I was just like, okay, bet. She goes, travel outside Dublin and, you know, God will give you a business idea. So I just went on Ryanair. I just went up, down, closed my eyes, random location, ended up in Milan. I went to Milan. First 2 days, you know, I wanted to engulf myself in the culture, you know. I ate my pizza, my spaghetti, all that stuff, my pasta, whatever it is, you know. I did all that stuff. And then the last day, before the last day, the first 2 days, I was cracking my brain. David would tell you, I was drawing out different ideas. I called him about one of them. I thought I was getting close.
He thought that was it.
I thought I was getting close. I called him. He goes, when I heard that, I said,
Do you know that's the thing? David says a lot without saying anything.
Yeah. He said, and then I was just like, do you know what? Yeah, you're right. I'll go back to the drawing board. But then, do you know, on that last day, a temptation came. Like I was just like a temptation to just, do you know what? You're already on the last day. You have not gone anywhere. Just go out and enjoy yourself. Bring your girl back. Do your thing. Yeah, attempted like heavy temptation. Like I was like, should I do this or not? And then something was just telling me this is a life or death situation. Something was just telling me like the decision you make here is like a life or death situation. Yeah. So I was just like, okay, boom. I was on my way out. I found one Chinese spot, and then I got a call from a guy in prison. My mom said before I traveled, you're gonna get a call as well. So I was just like, oh my days. I didn't clock all these things until after. And then I came back home. So basically, the reason why I said the first 2 days I engulfed myself in the culture was because I was eating whatever, you know, I'm in Italy for the first time. Let me eat their stuff. And the third day I said, you know, I just want Charlie's. Like I want the equivalent of Charlie's. So I went onto Google Maps. I saw like 3 different Chinese restaurants within 5 minutes walking distance, but it took me 25 minutes to make
decide,
it. Yeah. And I was just
Chinese is crucial.
Yeah, but
where you
I have
eat. Where on holidays, it's such a crucial.
And for me, because I have a fast metabolism, I'm all about the portion sizes. Like I don't want to eat in your restaurant and then on the way home I'm grabbing wrap of the day.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? I want to eat and I'm like, I've eaten. Let me go home. Do you get what I'm saying? So I was just so indecisive, and then eventually I got to a restaurant. The portion size was good. I was full. I came home, and I was just like, I don't even know. Like it was already like 12 midnight. I was just like, I don't know if any idea was gonna come. And then I was watching Brian Tracy earlier that day. He was talking about activating your subconscious mind, which I just think is the Holy Spirit. If you know, for us Christians, he said literally sit down for 20 minutes. Do not do anything. Do not move. Do not. You're going to be so restless, but do not move. After 10 minutes, your juices will just start flowing. So I literally, I had nothing else. So I was just like, you know what, let me just lie down. And I was just thinking of different ideas, different like, why am I here? And then after 10 minutes, I just started thinking about, why was this such an effort to decide? Why did it take so long? No, I was just thinking, if I had someone that has been to Milan before and they had like a profile of where they'd... So I just started thinking, and I was just like, wait, I should be writing this down. So I got up, I went on my laptop, and then I just started documenting what I was doing. And then I did some research. I saw TripAdvisor do something similar, all these apps, and I was just like, oh, it's already taken, Jerry. So I left it. And then I called my guy when I was in the airport, and I just explained what just went down. And he goes, bro, this is how one of our friends, his company got acquired. Just because a big company is doing something doesn't mean that you can't solve a little problem and make, you know. So I was just like, that gave me the encouragement. So on the plane, I was thinking back to my trips in Barcelona, Paris, America, all these places where I was just like, okay, what was the reason why it was harder? What made it easier in this sense? And then I was just like, okay, boom. I went home. I said it to my mom. My mom goes, she prayed about it, and she goes, that's it. Like, work on that idea. Wow. So then I was working on the idea, but I was working on the idea without God in a sense.
Do you know what? As I was thinking about your conversation today, I remember, I don't use Twitter.
Okay.
But every time I use Twitter, I've seen something happen in my life every time I use Twitter. So I don't tweet. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I must have tweeted like, you can't do a business, you can't do what God gave you without God. And I think you must have reposted it. So now that you're saying that, you did. And I was like,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That was exactly it. The first 3-4 weeks, I was going from, you know, staying up till 2-3 a.m., you know, with what I used to do, to waking up at 6 a.m., you know, and I was trying to do that. And the first, like my mom said, go on a walk in the morning. The first thing when you wake up, just go on a walk. That's when your brain is most alert. So I was doing that, but I was doing that without God. So I was just like more so brainstorming the ideas and like, you get what I'm saying? And then I was still just, you know, I was still girls, still my problem, still all that, you know, lust, still my problem. So every single time I was making a bit of progress, you know, lust will seep in and I'll just fall back. And, you know, there was even one point I was in the studio, I kicked David out concept because I was bringing it. I was just so stressed from everything, you know. I kicked David out. David said, what are you doing in the studio? I said, I'm meeting with Sammy. We have a meeting. He waited in the car. I was waiting for him to go. He didn't go. The girl pulled up in the taxi.
David
I said,
Holy Spirit.
David said, gosh. I just brought the girl inside there. I was just so stressed from it. I was just like constantly going back and forth where it's just like, and then I just realized, you know what? I'm not making any progress. I need God. God was the one that gave me this idea. I actually need God to help me refine it and define it. So that's when I think end of April, I was just like, yeah, boom. I'm going to go into this like fully. But then my birthday came. So my birthday came was 6th of May. That weekend, you know, my boys gathered around. Let's take you Nando's. Let's, you know. So I'm just chilling with the boys, and then as I'm eating, I'm just like, yeah, I should do something for my birthday, innit? So I went on to Snap. I saw that there was like a stripper event in Vela. I go, boys, Bonnie, let's go. Let's pull up. My birthday, yeah, let's turn up. Got a table, got there, strippers were there, you know. I'm spraying the dollars, I'm doing all that stuff. That night, I also go home with someone. After that, I go to another girl's house. I was very bad. I was very bad. Princess, I was very bad. Very, very bad. You know, one wasn't enough. I went to another one, and then I was just back in the cycle. And then end of May, same thing. I went to another, like, I rekindled stuff with a girl that I was doing stuff with before. And then I was just like, I don't want to be doing this. I don't want to be going back and forth with this. And every time I did these things, I already knew in my head, I was just like, the business is screwed now. Yeah. Like, I'm not going to get anything. There's no clarity. Like, when I'm walking, like, with God, I have so much clarity.
Yeah.
I make a decision and I can back it. I'm like, yeah, God, that was God inspired, you know. But when I sin and I do all that stuff, I'm just like, I don't even feel like working on my business because I'm just like, I can make 5 decisions and God is still back there. Yeah. Back there. And he didn't give the go ahead on this decision. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. So end of May, I was in that cycle. So, but then I was just like, okay, do you know what? I'm going to stop with the girls. I'm just going to chill with the boys. Just going to go restaurants. Around that time, my friend got an apartment. So we were just like, yeah, congratulated him. So then me and 2 other friends, we decided to go to restaurants every weekend. So we'll find restaurants on TikTok, and then we'll just be going. So the first 2 times, it was calm. No girls involved. 3rd time, you know, we went to this restaurant, and after it, we ended up in Vela. I wasn't driving. So obviously, because I wasn't driving, I was just like, oh, you guys are going Vela? Okay, I guess I have to go Vela with you guys. I ended up in Vela, and then, what was it? From Vela, we went to Blanche to another party. So we went to Vela for Shisha, and then Blanche party. And I was just like, I told my boys, once I got this idea, I rang my boys. I was like, yo, boys, I'm out. Like, I'm not going out anymore. But then I ended up out there.
Because you weren't taking yourself seriously.
And then the next week, we go bowling. I'm paying for girls' taxis to bowling. I'm not doing anything with these girls. I'm paying. One of my boys wants the girls. I'm facilitating it. In another life, I would have been Hugh. Is it Hugh Hefner? What's that? Playboy Kenny. In another life, I would have been one of those, just arranging fornication. Do you get what I'm saying?
Not arranging fornication.
I'm telling you, I used to, like, I remember back in 2021, 2022, like, my guy would just call me like, yo, bro, any girls? I'd be like, what's your spec?
I think I've witnessed one of your arrangements.
Really?
Yeah.
Explain.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I think was one of your boys.
Okay.
This is a couple of years ago, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what did I do? How did
I think one of your boys was talking to someone I know.
Okay.
Deep where you live.
Yeah, Tala.
Deep where I live. Don't say where I live.
Yeah. Oh, shit, sorry. Dry that.
That's okay. And, I think you drove him down or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
To come and facilitate it.
Yeah. Sounds like me. You know? Sounds like
who I was. You said you ain't careful.
Sounds like who I was. Like, there were times where, like, one of my guys would be like, yo, do you know what? This guy will say, I'm feeling this one. And I'm just like, okay, so who do you want? So there's like two of them. Who do you want? And I'm just like, okay. So I'll look through my snap. I'll look through my snap. Who's ideal and who's going to do stuff. So I couldn't just choose based on beauty. I had to choose based on
who's on it.
And if any of the girls that are watching this, if I've invited you, I'm sorry. I'm not saying you are loose, but I had to invite girls based on, you know, are you going to do something? There's no point of coming here at 11 p.m. and acting like you don't know what's going on. Stop doing that. I hate when girls do that. They're so like, what are we doing here? Like,
that's like, TikTok sound. So you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, like, what? Do you know what I mean? Like, let's go to the back. Oh, what do you mean? I'm like, what do you think this is? Like, I when I was in my day, I never used. I wanted to make it so clear to them, like, we're not doing anything nice here. I will go to an underground, darkly lit. So, not in that sense, but like the aesthetic is so dead. I never put any thought into aesthetics, so they know, I know what we're doing here. So by the time we want to do it, there's no question. Do you get what I'm saying? So some girls, they were just like, but like, yeah, I would look through my Snapchat. Okay, this one is ideal for this. Okay, and then sometimes I'll call girls like, yo, do you have any friends?
Oh.
And I'll be like, send their pictures. I could show you around 2021. I will have screenshots of different Instagrams because I was sending it to the boys. What do you think of this one? What do you think? No, bring this one. Don't bring this one. I'm telling you, I should have been charging these niggas. I should have been charging, not in a bad way, but like literally, that's how bad it was. Like I was literally facilitating, and obviously I would participate as well. But like I was literally the one that I could get.
So you're both the coach and the player.
Yeah, literally. Wow. Yeah, I could literally get. Like, I could get a group of girls to an apartment, to a house, whatever the case may be. Wow. Do you get what I'm saying? Just, yeah. How did we get there? You
were saying each time that you fornicated or you facilitated fornication.
Yeah. So we went from, bowling. I was, paying for girls' taxis to come. So that was in the studio. I think after bowling, we came to the studio. This couch that we have here, we were all just, messing, balloons, all the drinks, all that stuff. And then I think 4-5 people tried to sit on this couch. Not this couch exactly, but a similar couch to this. They broke it. And then I was just like, oh my days, like, what am I actually doing? I realized it was like $350 to get another couch, this exact same couch. I was just like, just because I want to have a bit of fun, it's costing me
a lot.
Like 100 euro here, 100.
Yeah.
And I'm meant to be like in conservative mode. So I was just like, wait, this does not make sense. So broke this couch and I was just like, what did we even do at the end of it? We just chilled, we just vibed. And that's not really what I want to be doing. Next week, I think it was Champions League final. We link up. I'm meant to be working on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, like heavy, 6 a.m., working on my business. Monday at 11 a.m., I was calling my boy. I was like, yo, what girls are we inviting? These times that I'm meant to be in my laptop, just defining the idea, I was just so excited to just be around girls again. And I was slipping back into my old ways where it's just like on Monday I'm having conversations about what girls were bringing on a Saturday. When I realized that, I was just like, do you know what? I said, I love my boys, but it's so easy for that side of Smiley to come out when I'm around them.
Yeah.
So I realized that I was just like, it wasn't a diss to the boys. It was just like, yo, as soon as I hear, you know, girl, me too, I forget that I'm a Christian again. Well, I was forgetting that, you know, I rededicated my life back to Christ, and I forgot, it went all down the window. So I just realized that and I said, you know what? I'm going to pull completely away. Yeah. Group chat, everything, pull completely away. Yeah. And that's literally when I actually started, you know.
Breaking through.
Yeah.
I think isolation is very important, especially when you first give your life to Christ, because I think sometimes we're so mixed up with I want to spread the good news, I want to be the change. You have to change first. And you can only change, like you said, by yourself. Like you actually have to pull away. So that's what birthed your business idea. Yeah,
that whole cycle. And then obviously my mom was instrumental in that. You know,
I was going to say, a big shout out to your mom.
Yeah,
like, this is actually, woman, this is what having a woman of God, a woman of faith, a caring mother looks like. Yeah. Look at how it shaped your life, because not only was she able to be like, oh, I know, she was able to go in prayer before you and tell you, these are the signs that will precede you. Like, that is so important. Yeah. Shout out to you, Mom.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Thank you, Mom.
Yeah. So, even like, even with
God, by the way, God kind of knew what would get my attention as well.
Yeah.
You know, it was just like, it wasn't going to be through something else. It was business, because I was very, very hung up on, you know, business at the time. So he knew that God is just the smartest person
He
ever.
is. And how would you, like, now that you're walking in purpose, if someone was to ask you, Smiley, what is purpose? Like, how do you define purpose? How would you be able to define the purpose for them?
I think we were all created to do a specific thing here on earth. So purpose is doing, how would I phrase it? So birds, for example, what makes a bird successful is the fact that they fly. So doing what you are created to do. So an iPhone is only successful when it does all the functionalities it's meant to do. So God has put us here on earth with in a certain environment, with certain people in our life, with certain genetics, in order to do a specific thing. And your purpose is based on you doing the things you were created to do, based on, you know, your environment, based on your experiences, based on all these things. You're here to do a specific thing here on, And I think you had that conversation with David, where it's just like, imagine your purpose is actually just to steward 5 people.
Yeah.
Would you be okay with that?
Yeah.
It's like, but you may have been created to do just that. And you fulfilling your purpose is you doing what you were created to do.
Yeah. And for someone that like wants to find their purpose, what would you say?
I watched Simon Sinek talk about like your 5 whys, or is it your 5 whys, or like your why? What's your why? Do you get what I'm saying? And
you asked me this question.
What helped? What helped me with that was asking my friends. Okay, he actually encouraged the exercise. Call 5 of your friends and just ask them, why are we friends? And they will all say, what do you mean, why are we friends? And I'm just like, yo, you have 4 other friends. Why specifically am I your friend? Like, why am I in your life? And based on the answers you get, just start highlighting if they say the same things. Like, what are the patterns you spot? And that's that kind of, it doesn't necessarily tell you what your purpose is, but starts to give you a clear picture on what impact you have on people's lives.
And who you are perceived to be, because you can think you're a certain type of person, but who you're perceived to be by people around you.
What was coming up a lot for me was just like, bro, you just motivate me to just go harder. I just kept hearing like, bro, you just make me think of, you know, I don't think I'm doing enough, and I know I could do more. You know, so, and I started realizing that I'm actually passionate about people, you know, doing more. Like, we have so much we could do. Stop limiting yourself to just like, oh, it's because of Ireland. No, it's not because of Ireland. Like, stop making excuses. We could do more. Do you get what I'm saying? So that's my whole thing, and that kind of pointed me in the right direction. And then the more you pray, the more you read your word, the more you spend time in communities that are, you know, talking about God, is the more you start to refine, like, okay, think this is
Because
where,
purpose can actually only be found in God as well.
Exactly.
Everybody goes through very different routes. I feel like that's why a lot of times some of us were like out before in the club and in everywhere else, but where we were actually going to find that thing that we were looking for. And you know, when you decided, okay, I'm going to pull away, like, and do my own thing and you know, focus on God. How was it like with your friends? Like, how was that like? Was there resistance?
I won't say there was resistance. It was just like, you know, there are times where they didn't believe that I was fully like done. So it was just like, you know, let's test. Yeah, let's test the water. So I think even 2 weeks later, all of them were in like my boys' apartment. They called me like, Smiley, let's go. Like this, bro, this event is last dance. That's what we used to call it, Michael Jordan, last dance. Like, bro, trust me, after this event, we no go call you again. So they will just call me, bell me. Bro, 2 weeks after I said I'm like fully pushing away, they'll call me. So it was just like, because we saw you 2 weeks ago, like they thought, you know, so I had to stand on business like, yo, boys, I'm not stepping out. Then the next week, I think it was Red Cup or something, they were all stepping out. And then I was just like, yo, boys, I'm not stepping out. So I just constantly had to, I say it's branding. It's teaching people how to associate, like you're giving them, so it's teaching people how to behave when they think of you and when they see you.
Hallelujah.
You're teaching them. So when you see a cow, that's where branding came from. It's like a cow, how you kind of knew it belonged to a certain owner. Was by how they like, if it was pink or something that they put pink on, so you know it influenced your behavior, so you know to return it back to that owner and stuff like that. So for me, it was more a case of branding, like teaching them how to behave when they think of me, when they see my name on their phone, teaching them, and that takes time. You get what I'm saying? So
even for you, for people, for yourself as well.
To stand on business as
your,
well,
your old self and the person you're trying to emerge into, they're at a constant battle, because it's always easier to go back than it is to move forward. Yeah,
so that was the resistance, I would say. It's just like, yo, they were trying, but then I had to just be strong-minded and just like, yo, guys, no, not today, not like, I'm not on that anymore. So yeah, that's
What's
literally
my branding?
What's your branding? When I think of you, serious, substance.
Substance.
Yeah, substance.
Do you think women are God?
Yeah, God.
Do you think independent?
I think all those lovely things.
Hallelujah.
Amen.
Okay, and I'm going to ask you something, because I was actually thinking about this, right? When you're talking about women facilitating all of that, right? Now that you have, you know, rebranded, what would be the difference between how you like approach a woman before and now? Now that you're no longer calling them to the dark alleyway.
Yeah.
How do you bring them?
It wasn't dark, by the way. It wasn't aesthetically pleasing.
It wasn't aesthetically pleasing, yes.
How would I approach?
Yeah.
You see, I hear this on TikTok, like all this, I want a Christian body or a Christian bad boy and all that stuff. And I'm just like, yo, really and truly, yes, you are new in Christ, but there's nothing wrong with a bit of like, you know, you look beautiful today. Like, yeah, a bit of, I won't say riz. Now, I think if you are approaching a girl, you can be attracted to a girl without it being sexual.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So you could like approach her on it like, yo, I love the way you think. I love this. I love that. A serious thing. And then you could throw in a few jokes here and there. But like, as long as it's not sexual, you know, like where it's just like, you know, if I do the omo, and I'm just like, do you get what I'm saying? And I make it about the body, or I make it about, that's the biggest difference. But I don't even approach girls
so
on that.
You wouldn't be doing the whole like, oh, I was looking through the book of Numbers.
No, I don't need to do that. Not like I would more so, I'll just have a conversation. I won't make it bait.
My mind is enough.
I won't make it bait. I'll just have a conversation. My thing is, as I said, I want to get to know you mentally. So I'm not gonna come on this like whole attraction thing. Yes, internally I may be attracted, but I'm more so trying to gauge what's going on in your brain.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna come through like I was looking through a hierarchy. I'm gonna more so have a conversation. What do you think about the word? Not what do you think about the word, but I'll be like, I've been seeing you regularly at this church. Like, how did you find this church? They're like, oh no, I found it. And I never see you with your friends. Do you not come with your friends? Like, oh no, my friends go to another church. So I'm just gauging. Little conversation. That's not me moving to you. That's just me having a conversation. And then
Just
based on that, I'll know how to kind of, you know, pass through the lines, as they say in football. You know, like, okay, you have the ball now. You now know, okay, this is the picture now, so you know how to act.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't really, I've not been
You're still
moving
on
to girls.
still kind of like on the focus. You're not really looking that way.
Yeah, I don't see the point of talking to anybody right now, personally.
I hear that because
And you're just increasing your temptation.
Yeah, you really are. If you're not getting ready to get married like soon, I think it's quite pointless.
And I think a lot of guys they do that because they lack the discipline.
Okay.
They lack the discipline of just being able to be by themselves and not have a girl to talk to.
Yeah.
Trust me, it's very hard to just like one of the weekends where it's just like I love hearing your voice. I love hearing just female voices. I love it. But
Should I talk
But
again?
I beg. But you need to have the discipline to be like, you know what? I want to hear female voices, but no, what's it going to lead to? Unless you're an actual friend, and even at the friend level, you shouldn't be. Personally, I don't think you should be talking every day on the phone, every 2 days on the phone, because you're lying to yourself. You're using your friend to replace that void that you're missing. You know, which is that male attention or that female attention.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? So yeah.
So for the men, for the young boys that are looking up to you, what would you tell them?
Oh gosh. I would like for black guys, I'd say, for black and white actually, I won't say stay away from women, but I'd say like figure yourself out first before you even engage with women. Do you get what I'm saying? Like that's what I'd say. Like stop wasting. And I know people will probably say, "Oh, you're gonna get some." No, it's not that. I've gotten some.
Oh.
I have. So it's not I'm gonna get some, but like literally, stop messing with girls' mentals. Like because you're so wishy washy, a girl is just going to follow your lead, and it's leaving a lot of women broken. Because these guys aren't just able to stay by themselves and just figure out life for themselves. Yeah. They just want to, as I'm figuring out life, let me string this one along, and that actually has that has some damaging effects on these women. So I would say for guys more so, because you're not only impacting your life, you're actually impacting other girls' lives as well. I'd say focus on yourself, because I would take back 100% of the things that I used to do with girls. I would, because I don't even know what effect it had on them. Yeah. I don't know if they're hoes now. I don't know if they're prostitutes. I don't know what they're doing with their lives. You know what I'm saying? As a result of me just saying, you know what, it's a transactional thing. I don't know how.
Or maybe you made them feel,
Yes, do you get what I'm saying? So I'd more so just like focus on yourself, and really and truly, you could get so much done if you're not talking to someone. I'm not talking about like if you were in a relationship prior. If you find the right one, snatch it up 100%. I'm not saying like, oh, these guys should just not engage in relationships at all. I'm saying if you don't even know what you want in a woman, how am I trying to find a girlfriend when I don't even know what qualities I want?
She looks like,
do you get what I'm saying? And I'm not even talking about physically, because 21-year-old guys, 22-year-old guys, they're only thinking about the physical aspect. But what I was looking for at 21 is different to what I'm looking at.
What are you looking for at 21?
21, I'm looking for a woman that has a business. I can't remember how I wanted us to kind of be able to relate to each other in terms of business. So like, oh yeah, you're doing that with your business, I'm doing this with my business. But that's because I was in my hyper, I want the energy, I want that business energy around. So I wanted a partner that was on the business thing. But now I'm just like, you could be on your nursing thing, you could be on whatever thing. Do you get what I'm saying? So it has changed. So that's what I'm saying, like hold off until you're fully matured and this is actually what I want before you start engaging with girls seriously. Easier said than done, though.
Easier said than done. Yeah, because there's so many beautiful women out there.
So
many.
So my voice even shook there. So many. God Almighty.
And even for women as well, I would actually say stay away from these men that haven't done the work, that haven't like actually healed, that haven't like figured themselves out. Because like I said, how are you going to follow a leader that doesn't know where the destination is? Exactly. Or how are you even sure you want to go to the same destination as this man? Like figure yourself out as well, and don't go for people that haven't like figured themselves out. Yeah. And also on the advice thing, like what advice have you heard that has stuck with you? Because I know you're living with a well of wisdom at home.
One thing he said recently was just like, because I've been finding that, every now and then, the blood gets hot. So, sometimes
I heard about the chicken.
Sorry?
I heard about the chicken.
Yeah. And that's just down to cues. That's down to conversations you have. That's down to what you see. That's down to what you hear. So, yeah, recently, there's been one or two times where I've not acted out. I've never actually gone out of my house to link up, but I've initiated like, yo, let's link and let's mess tonight. Let's mess. Like I'm still fighting that, the patterns, So there's been once or twice recently that I've done that, and like they've told me where it's just like, yo, his mentor told him, God is patient with you, so you should be patient with yourself. I think the rush and the kind of need to be perfect straight away is what's actually killing some of us as well.
Keeps a lot of us in like cycles of backsliding, because you're not allowing yourself that process to actually fully transform, and transformation is not a day thing. Yes, of course, Jesus has transformed you from the inner. In one, all it takes is one touch for God to transform your life. Yes, but it takes a while for your physical realities to actually match up with what has happened from within you. It's very, very important.
So for me, I think that's what keeps people from praying after they sin. Because it's just like, in their head, I'm meant to be perfect. I'm not meant to be struggling with this sin anymore. So that's actually what keeps them away from actually just going back to God and like, yo, I got it wrong. So him saying that recently kind of stuck with me. Also, I think environment is just the biggest thing. I watch a lot of podcasts, and when they said, show me your friends
and I'll show you who you are,
I always used to, get off that, man. Like, what are you talking about? But now I can hand on heart, I can swear on anything. I'm convicted on it. Show me your friends. I'll tell you where you're headed. Because no matter what, you may not get into drugs like them, but your ambition will be reduced as a result of chilling with them. They will see what you're doing and they will just suck up to you like, oh my God, you're the best thing since sliced bread. And if you were in another environment where everybody's doing way better than you, your ambition will be like 10x.
I think we were actually speaking about this. It's like, sometimes when you're in a classroom and you're the straightest student, but then you go do a state exam and you get a C. You were the best there. You weren't the best, period.
Overall, exactly. And being around that will just being around people that are emotionally intelligent, the types of questions that they ask, the types of conversations that they have, like before we even started, like what were we talking about? We weren't talking about like, oh yeah, how was Vela last weekend? We're all talking about like, we're talking, me and Dongo were talking about, algorithms, how to not even crack the algorithm, but like, honing in on your content, like what is your purpose? Like who are you trying to reach? Do you get what I'm saying? Those are the conversations we're having. But like, if you're around people that are having conversations about like, I was chilling with one or two of my boys last night and we were just like reminiscing on, what we used to do in terms of, we called it LNA, so late night antics. We had a group chat for it where it's just like, this was when we weren't really allowed out, like and I would steal my mom's car to, go to parties and stuff like that. So, just like reminiscing on that. Like, there are grown men that still have those type of conversations where like, what are we doing tonight? What sneaky thing are we doing tonight? You get what I'm saying? If you're around that, there's no way you're going to actually fulfill purpose because you're not doing what you are created to do. So I think environment is one of the biggest things where it's just like, put yourself in the right environment. Whatever behavior you want to display, make sure your environment makes that so easy. You get what I'm saying? It's very easy for me. It's very hard for me to like go out and do a madness right now because like David is so involved in my environment right now. My systems, as I said, the accountability group chat. If I wake up at 5:30 every single day, if I put on my schedule that I'm waking up at 10 a.m., someone's going to check in. Like, it's Sunday tonight. Tomorrow's Monday. Why are you doing 10 a.m. instead of, like, are you out right now? Do you get what I'm saying? So they'll pull me up on it. So it's harder for me to kind of, I have to think twice about, going out and stuff like that because I know the people around me, they'll remind me straight away. There's a few of my boys that have even come to the Fate recently. And if I call them, like, if I was feeling hot or whatever, and I call them, like, yo, bro, 2v2. Are we here?
2v2.
Yeah, that's what it's 2v2. One. So
wait, what?
2 girls are there and 2 guys are there, and we're just Yeah. Challenging. Like, you know, tennis.
Yeah, table tennis.
Yeah. So yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah? Oh, gosh. I'm fasting, bro. Damn. Okay. Yeah.
It's a TV too. Wow. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Who are we talking about? That's from you.
Don't worry. It will
I
be
get thrown
edited.
off so much. Sorry.
David, what you doing, bro?
Sorry.
He's
they're
looking
actually
out for
doing
me,
that.
don't worry.
Yeah, thank you, David. Thank you. Oh, and I was gonna say, yeah, drink the water. I was actually gonna say, yeah, for some of us watching from home, and they're like, okay, Smiley can give it up, so can I. If Smiley can change, so can I. Advice.
Sorry?
Like if Smiley can like give it up, so can I. Like, what would you say?
100%. Yeah, I think it's just down to your environment, as I said. If you constantly have friends that are your friends dictate what type of guy you would go for.
I know. I saw this thing that was like you're the average of the 5 closest people around you.
Yeah.
Like even the apostle said, you have 5 stupid friends. You didn't count well.
Yeah.
You're 6.
6.
Yeah.
So like if your girls are always saying this tall guy, you are going to start liking tall guys, whether you know or not. So you need to be very, very specific about who you place around you because they have influence on you. I didn't grow out, I didn't just come out of my mom's room liking the type of girl that I liked. It was
Society told you.
Exactly. Do you get what I'm saying? So you need to be very, very intentional about the people that you have in your circle. So if I could do it, quote unquote, you can, but you need to be very, very specific about what you have in your environment. And you need to be okay being alone. I think not a lot of people are okay being alone. So if you're okay being alone and riding solo, you'll be fine. Because not everybody is going to agree with this change that you're trying to make.
Even you, like I said, you're not even going to agree with the change. That
Yeah,
you're going through at
your body's
first.
not going to,
It's
exactly.
going to be hard.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness. Even just off this conversation, I think a good book to read, even just would be Atomic Habits. I think it covers a lot of what you were saying today. Like, do you get what I mean? So I think that would be a really good read. And before we go, we're going to do this or that.
What's that?
I'm going to give you 2 options, and you pick which one. It's just quick fire.
Okay.
This or that.
Yeah.
All right, cool. This or that. Or, yeah, would you rather be respected by everyone or have infinite power over everyone?
Be respected by everyone.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool. Would you rather meet your ancestors from 500 years ago or meet your descendants from 500 years in the future?
Descendants.
Why that?
Impact.
So you want to see the legacy you left?
Yeah.
I like that.
I like it too.
Spend a day on earth with Jesus or a week in heaven with God. I think I'll ask this about the opposite way, yeah. That was a really good one.
Spend the week in heaven with God.
Really?
Because it'll let you know what you're going up to. It will give you that, yes, seeing is believing, but it's just like for Christians, we have faith based on what we don't see, but seeing it will give you that extra conviction and that extra motivation. Where it's just like, no, I've been up there. Like, it's too good.
I'd spend a day.
With Jesus? Why?
Because you're going to show me how to live my life on earth here. First of all, for that impact, for that purpose, and then how I'm going to live that will get me there. Forget there. I know there exists. But how do I make this walk here, this time here, valuable, purposeful, meaningful to get there? Do you know that sort of thing?
A week with God, though. Like, you can ask those questions in heaven. You're going back to earth.
But then do you also, I think one of the questions we asked was, do you know what a week in heaven is?
Oh, yeah. Because
you could be there for hundreds of years.
Yeah. I'll still go with the week. Like,
I'm going to spend a day here with Jesus. Eat food, but can't taste, or smell things that can't smell.
Eat food, but you can't taste, or smell things.
That you can't smell. It's either like be able to...
Smell things that I can't smell.
Yeah. Smell things, but you can't smell. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I need to taste.
I want to eat, bro.
Yeah, what?
And then speak every language fluently or play every instrument fluently. I think I know what you're going to pick.
Play every instrument. Yeah.
Play every instrument.
No,
do you know what? The business side of me, like I was thinking this.
No. I thought about it, and I was just like, do you know what? It would make more sense to go with the languages because like you can go to any country, you can impact anywhere, you know.
But
before we go,
yes, sir.
Can we kind of know a bit more about you, Sharon? some of the questions you asked me, let's return it back to you.
All right.
Because I don't feel like people get a sense of who you are as an individual. So, what are you looking for?
Did you see?
In terms of leave that, Jerry.
No, David.
Leave him, Jerry. Just quick one.
What am I looking for? Oh,
what's
gosh.
what are you like? Who is Sharon? Let's start there. Who is SharonAde? Who Sharon Speaks?
She's me.
Come on, go into detail.
Well, ask me specific questions.
Who is Sharon? Like what would your friends say about you? What do you add to your friends' lives?
I would say that Sharon is a God-fearing person. Sharon is someone of discipline. I would like to add that into it. Sharon is purpose.
What do you add to your friends' lives?
That's what I'm adding to them.
Discipline.
Motivation. Yeah, like
so they're more disciplined as a result of chilling with you.
Yeah, and or when they are about to get into that cycle of life, or like, oh, I want to do this, or I want to pick myself up. I'm probably the accountability partner that she would need. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
What else do I add to them? I'm kind. I'm a good friend. Yeah.
You add kindness to
them.
Okay. Would they all agree with you?
I would say they would agree with me. What do I add to your life?
No, don't ask her.
I didn't ask her.
And what's your criteria to being your friend? What do they need? What do your friends need in order to be like, yeah, you could be my friend?
Right. What do my friends need to be my friend? First of all, you have to. Faith is a big component of being my friend, like you said. I think you have to have a sense of purpose, and having a sense of purpose is one thing, but actively trying to walk in it is another. Like, I'm not saying be perfect, but I mean, like, at least we're all like on this journey together. Drive. You need to have drive to be my friend. Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah.
And then in terms of the young girls, based on this conversation that we had, in terms of the young girls, what advice would you give to them?
What aspect of this conversation?
In terms of like men, choosing men, interacting with men in general. Knowing the world that we live in today, what advice would you give to young women?
First of all,
let me change that question.
Okay.
What advice would you give to a 26, 27-year-old woman that's looking for a husband? God-fearing man.
A 26, 27-year-old woman?
Yeah, single.
I don't know. I'm not 26 or 27.
What advice
I don't
would
think
you
I
give to them?
Give
what
her
advice would you?
Okay. That she's looking for a man.
Would you tell her to go put herself in places where the chances are increased, or would you tell her no, just do your own thing? Like, he'll come to you.
A bit of both. Like, I think sometimes as Christians, we also have this thing of just always like staying at home. And yeah, there's nothing God really cannot do. But at the same time, like, go to places where you want to find those types of men. If you want a God-fearing man, he's not in a club. Do you know what I mean? Be selective about like where you're going. If you want certain calibers of men. But what I would also say is work on yourself so that you can also become that woman that he's looking for. I'm very big on that. I think
we'll end the podcast there. Can you repeat that one more time?
Yeah, so you need
become the woman that man is looking for.
Yeah.
How do you know what he's looking for?
How do you know what he's looking for?
You need to ask the questions to the man.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Forget that even.
No, don't forget it.
No, because you don't need to ask
Don't
them.
dismiss me like that.
You don't. No, that's not.
What do you mean?
That's not what I mean. I don't think you need to ask them. I think you need to see what you want and become what you want. Do you know what I mean?
What
like
you
in terms
want?
of like, if I want a guy that is kind, if I want a guy that's hardworking, if I want a guy that's a high earner, if I want a guy that even say let's say goes to the gym, but I can't climb up a flight of stairs. That's what I'm saying. Become the kind of person that he wants, so that when you come into his life, it's easy to spot you as well. Do you know what I mean? Be it someone of value. Work on yourself.
What if he doesn't want any of those things?
I don't know then.
That's what I'm saying. Ask the guy. Like we were going down the same.
Sorry. Well, yeah, ask the guy what he wants.
Yeah.
Ask the guy.
Not ask the guy. Not ask the guy.
Shift.
I'm not saying ask the guy, but like talk to the likes of David. Like, what were you looking for?
Yeah. Listen to this podcast.
Listen to
that's a way to know.
Listen to guys that are married. Like, what were you actually looking for in your wife?
Yeah.
The ones that
and
are
a lot of them
recently
say
married.
character.
Exactly.
A lot of them say character.
Exactly.
Develop your character. Don't have bad character.
That's it. So ask those type of guys, and
Yeah.
then you will now see there's a pattern in what they are actually looking for. None of them mention looks.
None
they
of
all
them.
mention and then you just, not that you mold yourself into that person, because they're not looking for you. Do you get what I'm saying? Like those husbands that you were talking to, they're not looking specifically for you, but just find the patterns,
common ground,
and then okay, do you know what?
Yeah.
This is what I should probably work on based on what they're telling me. You know. Stuff like that.
And
That's
then,
good advice.
was that good advice?
Yeah, it was great advice.
Somebody likes to put me on the spot. I don't like it.
Yeah,
Even
I
our
think
conversations, I don't like it.
we're done.
Is that what you want to ask me?
That's all I want to ask you.
Yeah,
I want
ask
them
me.
to get a better feel of you. Do you know what I mean?
Okay. Thank you so much, guys, for stopping by. Smiley, today was fantastic. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
We're going to have you back again, right?
Amen.
You're gonna
Amen
come?
to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.